Have you ever wondered what would happen if you made cookies with bread flour instead of all-purpose? Today we're going to find out. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Mostly From Scratch. I am your host, Mr. Munchies. And in today's episode, I wanted to find out what would happen if we made cookies with bread flour instead of all-purpose flour. Now, bread flour has a lot more protein, glutens in it that makes your product a little more chewy, a little more stretchy, as opposed to the all-purpose flour that does not have as much proteins or glutens, whatever you want to call them, in it. So what I did was I made a batch of cookies. Actually, I made 4 batches of cookies, as you can see here. I wanted to find out what the bread flour would do not only to the cooking time, color of the cookies, but to the texture, how soft they were going to be, because everybody always likes those soft batch cookies, and to me soft batch cookies are just undercooked. So I made up 4 batches of cookies. I used the Nestle Toll House cookie recipe. The only thing I didn't do was add the chocolate chips. I cooked them for 12 minutes at 375 degrees. I did a couple of batches. There's another batch back there. I just wanted to see if the consistency was going to be the same. So we have 4 cookies here. The first one I substituted 25% bread flour. This one, it was 50% bread flour, 75 and 100%. Okay, so the first thing I can tell you is by cooking them with the bread flour, I see a difference in each percentage. This one at 25% came out basically looking like your normal cookie. 50% on both batches didn't fall out as much as the 25%. And is a little bit thicker, a little bit puffier. Now I noticed as we got farther into the percentage, the cookies spread out a lot more. This is the 75% compared to the 25. And then the 100% bread flour, that spread out a lot compared to the 25 and is very thin. Okay, so I haven't tried these yet. I haven't tasted them. I've let them cool. It's about 70, 71 degrees in my house. So they've been sitting for about 45 minutes now. So they are totally cool at room temperature. So now we're going to go ahead and give them a try. All right, so we're going to start out with the 25%. Okay, I can tell just by the way it's breaking. It's not crumbly. It's soft. Now, remind you, these are supposed to be chocolate chip cookies, but I just did not add the chocolate chips. So breaking it, it broke almost like a peanut butter cookie would with all that extra fat in there. So let's give this a bite. It tastes exactly the same as it would if I had used all-purpose flour, but it definitely is chewy. This is what I would call a soft batch cookie. It's not crumbly, it's not hard, a little bit around the edges, but as you get towards the center, it's definitely chewy. A good flavor. It's not undercooked. It is cooked all the way through. I'd say that's a winner right there, 25%. All right, so now we're going to go into 50%. Break this in half. Once again, it's breaking kind of like a peanut butter cookie. Actually, that felt a little bit more elastic than the 25%. So let's give it a try. Once again, it hasn't really affected the taste. It still tastes like a chocolate chip cookie would taste without the chocolate chips, of course. Chewiness, a little bit more chewy than the 25%. Good texture. It's cooked all the way through. Yeah, so I'd say that's a winner too. All right, 75%. Let's see how this one breaks. About the same, a little more pull to it. Let's give it a taste. I'm starting to taste a little bit of difference. It's hard to describe. It's not really like a bread taste, but I think it's profiling the sugar a little bit more. Tastes a little bit sweeter. Maybe a little bit more of the brown sugar taste in there. I don't know. That one's okay. All right, let's get into the 100%. This 100% bread flour. Let's break it. A little bit of pull there. Now this one's much thinner. All right, let's give it a taste. Okay. Definitely chewier. Much more chewier than the 25 by a big difference. And once again, the higher percentage of the bread flour is definitely highlighting the sugar in the cookie. It tastes much, much sweeter. It's really chewy. Totally cooked all the way through. But very, very sweet. Yeah. I need a glass of milk after this. All right. So, it's not bad. I would say I would go with the 50% bread flour. Next time I'm going to make a batch of cookies, I'm going to go ahead and do that, full on with the chocolate chips and everything. Definitely gave it a better chew. Didn't highlight the sugar as much as the two higher percentages did. So anywhere between with the 25 or the 50%, I'd say you're good to go. I mean, if you don't have, say for instance, you're making cookies and you run out of all-purpose and you got a little bit extra bread flour, no problem. You can use it, definitely. And if you want to go for that soft batch cookie, my suggestion to you is give this a try. Once again, everybody's oven temperature is a little bit different. So I suggest just doing one cookie to test it. Like I said, I did mine at 375 for 12 minutes. Your oven might be a little bit different, so do a test cookie, all right? Give it a try. Let me know what you think. I would really like some feedback on this. You guys can always leave something in the comment section below. But I think this is pretty conclusive. So I'm going to wrap it up at that. This has been another episode of Mostly from Scratch. I am your host, Mr. Munchies. And if you would like to see some of my other experimental recipes, I'll put them somewhere around here on the sides so you can go right to them. Everybody plate up and shout out.